Judy on the radio, building dreams and achieving more, telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
Well, good morning and welcome to another hour of the Real Talk with Judy live radio show, the number one talk show for empowering, inspiring, motivating, and helping people to see their value, their worth, and to fulfill their dream, or to go after their dream and to make it happen. I want to thank God for all of you who have tuned in. It is an honor to have you here. And I pray today that this show will help you see the value of your own voice. We're going to get into it to help you with your dream, your hope, your desire. Everything you want to accomplish is possible if only you can believe. And y'all know what I say. You have to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. So we want you to see it. We want you to understand that it is possible. You can make this happen. Anything that you want. Before I go any further, I would like to say hello to my mom who's in Fort Lauderdale. And I want to thank you, Sister Manuel, for being on. Thank you so very much. And all of those of you who are tuning in, I want to thank you so very much. But I want to say hello to my mom. She's in Fort Lauderdale. And guess what, y'all? She's taking a walk today. She's taking a walk down her street, right? The street she lives on. She's taking a walk down her street. I want to thank you so very much for your prayers. I want you to continue to keep her in your prayers. And I'm going to put this out there. I have a real good friend, who's in need of your prayers as well. Her name is Miss Pam Ridley. And I want you all to pray for her. Ask God to do a miracle in her body. So since 3:30 this morning, she's been just praying at 3:30 this afternoon. So every 3:30 in the morning, 3:30 in the afternoon. Y'all pray for Miss Pam. Okay? So I wanted to thank you all. Thank God again for my husband, Superintendent Gerald Mandrell. Thank him so very much for all that he does. And when I tell you, y'all, he researching, trying to make sure. He never wants me to depend on anybody. So he tried to do everything himself. And I thank God, 43 years of marriage, and he still just want to make sure everything runs smoothly for me. And I give God praise for that. He never wants me to have to depend on anybody for anything. You may say, well, Judy, why you don't learn it yourself? Because in some things, I am not as, savvy as he is in some things, and he learned quicker than me in some things. And I appreciate that. And I just wanted to say, be a help to your spouse, be a help to each other as much as possible. Hey, Tanya and Mama, I told her Mama taking a walk down her street today with her granddaughter, Kiara. And I'm just excited in the Lord. But we give God praise. Again, thank you all so very much for tuning in. If you would, go ahead and share. And get everybody on. Today is going to be an absolutely great show, as they all are, but it is going to be an absolutely great show. And I know that you're going to be blessed in it. So I want to thank you all, the audience, for tuning back in. Thank you, Sister Priscilla. She's the production manager of this show and everything. I want to thank you also very much. Appreciate what you all do. Appreciate it could be you all. Priscilla and her staff, everything that you do to make sure that these shows and everything turn out fantastic. I want to thank you. Listen, y'all, I am so excited today. I'm excited about so many things. Had to deal with some things this today, but it's all good. God is good. God is good. But today I am so excited. Priscilla's gonna put up a picture. And y'all, I am so excited. This picture was text to me. That is Miss Marsha Irvine, who voted a few years ago. I mean, last year, I think. I think it was last year. They arrested her and put her in jail for voter fraud. Voter fraud. But if you look on, but man, we came in there. We fought it real good. Attorney Akbar, Attorney Ben Crump, and Atner Mercer, all those were so involved in making sure she had her freedom to vote. And today, look at here, she went to vote. What you see on her shirt is I voted. And guess what? No arrest, no anything. And I think this is a good segue into what we're going to talk about, because I want you to put that picture back up for me, Priscilla. I want y'all to see her. I want y'all. She's an ordinary person, no big anything, but God. Well, when I say big anything, let me make that correction. Um, uh, no PhD, no pastor, no business owner, no executive officer of anything. Served her time, but God has blessed this lady. God has blessed her, and she um, now is has helped change the legislators to have to revisit a law that they put into place. God used her. God used her. Y'all got to see this. God used this woman, ordinary woman. And I want to say that to you. God wants to use you, an ordinary woman who is not looking for the limelight. Matter of fact, she doesn't like being out front. But I want to tell everybody, you have to be out front. You're going to be out front, okay? And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you're trying to seek all of this. Sometimes you will be out front, and it is okay to be out front. Somebody got to lead. Somebody got to drive, right? We got to make this happen. But the legislators are going to have to revisit that law that they wrote, that your governor in Florida and then his legislators put in place to try to curtail the voting rights of people who have served their time and people who have paid everything. They owe nothing else to society. They have served their time. And I want to say congratulations, Ms. Irvine. She's listening on the radio probably if she hadn't gone to work. But y'all, she is God's choice. She was God's choice to do that. And I celebrate her. And we're clapping all over the world. We're clapping for her. We're clapping for her all over the world because we say congratulations. She voted. My husband and I voted the first day early voting started. My husband and I went to the Leon County uh, election office and we cast our votes. We sure did. We cast our votes. And so today, I want y'all to remember it's voting time. Some people don't vote in the primaries, but it is important that you vote in the primary. People are voting in the primary. And that picture right there, really, that was a good picture. That was a good text to just ease my mind a little bit. That was a good text. And so today, I'm going to talk about you have something to say, use your voice. That's what I'm going to talk about today. You have something to say, use your voice. Many people use their voice to talk to people, to communicate their needs and wants, or just to chit chat. But the idea of voice goes much deeper than that. And I want you to hear me. It goes much deeper than that. Thank you for sharing. If you all would just share, just share, tag people to get on, share. Okay. Having a voice gives an individual authority and power. It's a way to express his or her belief. And one important note I want to make is if you can't find your voice, if you don't use it, It's not gonna, you're not gonna be heard. Duh, you're not gonna be heard. But you have something to say, and I want you to use your voice to say it. All right. So many people are afraid to share their voice. So many people are afraid to share their opinion because certain people ain't gonna agree with it. It does not matter. And you all hear me say this on so many platforms. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Some people, none of us gonna always have, none of us have everybody agreeing with our voice. Some of us have select people who are gonna agree with us. You're gonna have the same amount of people to agree with you all the time, and then you're gonna have some other. God bless you, Minister Howard. God bless you. Then you're gonna have some people who are gonna hear your voice and then become a part of who you are. I was in hospital yesterday, and so many people knew me in that hospital. Okay, at TMH, at different places, and guess what they say? They recognize my voice. They recognize my voice. They like to hear my voice. They love to hear my opinion. I had one lady to tell me one time that she disagreed with what I was saying, and I told her, I respect that. You have a right to. It's okay. It is okay. I don't expect everybody who come on my show to agree with what I say, or who listen to it and maybe a part of what you agree with and a part that you don't. But if we can communicate, that's a whole nother thing. Hey, Gigi, my girl, if you can communicate, we will have better understanding. Okay, people recognize my voice. They hear my voice. They hear it. Jesus said your voice has power, and you have to use it. You really do. You really do. You have to use it. You got to let people. You have the right to let your voice be heard. My sister Carolyn says she hates her voice. She does not like the way her voice sounds. I like the way her voice sounds. She doesn't like the way her voice sounds, but I do. Okay, people may not like your voice, and people may like your voice. Point number one that you must like your own voice. I have so many people who don't like this about themselves, don't like this about themselves. Who are you basing it up on? What are you basing it up on? Someone told you they don't like your hair? My hair now, I promise you, I got half and half. I got half people who really love when I wear my hair in a bob, and I got half the people who really love when I wear my hair in micro. I haven't asked anybody how they like my hair. You know why? Because it doesn't matter. I wear my hair the way I want to wear my hair because it's my hair. And so the people who like the bob, I say enjoy the bob now. Enjoy the bob. Because those micros are on their way back in just a few moments. You understand? And why am I doing it? Because that's what Judy Mandrell like. That's what Judy Man. You know why I talk? You know why I make comments? You know why I post? Because I like what I say. I know some people say they don't hit like on their own page, they don't hit love it or what, and that's them. I do. If I write something I like it, I hit like it. That's right, Minister Elder Howe. If I like what I like, when I write it, I hit like. When God created this earth, God stood back and he looked and he said, that's good. In other words, he was encouraged. He was telling himself, you did a good job. I like what I did. I like this. And we're no less than God. He looked at it and he said, that's good. That's good. That's good. And when he created you, you know what he said? That's good. He didn't create no mistake. He didn't create anything. And we got all of this. You got so many people trying to change their nose, trying to change their breast, trying to change their butt, trying to change their color. They're trying to do all that stuff. I think I don't watch Head of the State too much. I start sounding like Chris Rock just then. Trying to do all that stuff. But like you, now if there's some things you want to improve about yourself, do it. But don't do it because other people are telling you this. If you do this, you look better like this. Look in that mirror and tell yourself you look good. If my husband, we've been married 43 years. And if my husband, if I put on something and my husband didn't tell me I look good, when I look in that full body mirror, when I leave home, I'm looking good if I like it. Same thing about your voice, my sisters and brothers. You have something to say. You have to use it. And sometimes we imagine what people think, and they haven't even said a word. They probably haven't even thought about you. We're making a whole movie in our head based on what people think, according to what we think people are thinking. And most time, a lot of time, people haven't even thought about you. You haven't even crossed their mind since you left their presence. I really want you to get this. And so, Numbers 13, and this has been on my mind ever since Sunday. I heard Pastor Joe Davis talk about it. But when Moses sent the 12 men to spy out the land God had given them, God said, I have given you a land flowing with milk and honey. Okay, but this is what I want to take a pause and deal. I agree. Sometimes we allow people to intimidate us, and that can make a silent. Now, people that I'm with, I don't want them to be quiet. I want them to have a voice. It is important to me that they have a voice. And it probably because of my upbringing. When we were children, when we were raised in our family, my mom and dad, they gave us a voice as children. They allowed us to express our opinion. We could tell them we don't even think that was fair. We can make comments in the house. My mom, all of their children, every week made a list of what we wanted to eat. You know how people say you better eat whatever you put before you? My mom didn't do that. My mom and dad did not say, you got all this food before you, you're going to eat whatever's on your plate. They did not force us to eat. There were certain things that we didn't like, and we made index cards every week of what we wanted to eat, and that's what we ate. They did not force us. Were we rich? I thought so, but I found out later we wasn't poor. We wasn't poor. As I talked to my husband, we come up two different background, but we had the same principle as far as the value and the foundation. My husband had the poor experience. He told me about looking up in the ceiling or warming up sheets. He told me that for real. I didn't think I would ever meet anybody like that, but my husband told me that. But you can't tell it. You can't tell it. Even the principles and the values that he and his siblings live by, you would never know the hardship that they came up with. Never know it. Because that's not in them. And their parents taught them to be who they are and to own who they are. And he and all his siblings are educated and very prominent citizens in their cities. Our family grew up, we had a voice at the table. We were able, my mom would whoop my behind. But I was able to, later on after I cried and she calmed down, I was able to tell her I didn't think that beating was fair. And she said, well, why you thought that, Judy? And I would give her reason, my reason. And she would give them back to me. Of course, she won, but the point of the matter is she and my dad allowed us to express ourselves. There was no bad judgment. They knew that I was going to be a talker in life, make money to talk. They knew that. But you know what happened? God promised them a land that was being occupied by others. There's something, he promised them a land flowing with milk and honey. He sent them there and allowed them to look at what he had promised them. Not to look at the giants, but to look at what he had promised them. Bishop Stewart said one time that there's some people in a position or in a place that God had promised you, preparing it for you. Oh, there's a minimum wage that's going to be increased. That's right, Tanya. My sister Tanya's son said Judy always had an advocate voice. Always. I would sit down with my mom and dad and talk with them as to why they're punishing my sister, why they're punishing my brother. I want to know. I want to know why they made that move. Why do we have to go here? What made you want to go here? But you know what? They allowed me to do that without consequences. And you know what it did? It taught me now at 65, I have a right, I have an obligation to express what I believe. They taught me how to do it respectfully. I don't just go out there and just say any kind. I respect other people's opinion, even if it's different than mine. It is okay. There are other people's voices that's different than mine. But the voices that agree with me are the voices that I most cling to. Okay? The land was growing, the land was prospering, the land was doing what it was supposed to do. As my husband and I talked about this, God showed them the possibility of what they were going to have. Y'all, there's some people doing what you're doing. There's some people in the place that God has promised you, and he's showing you the possibility. I was saying that Bishop Stewart told us about, he said, sometimes you don't get the job because God has you at a higher income to start than what a starting price is right now. And so he has them occupying the land, but he said, go and view the land. Go and look at it. Y'all go look at what God, and then put your voice on it. Talk about it. They look at the land, then they looked at themselves and compared themselves with their own measuring stick against the giant that God didn't say, I gave you a land full of giants. He said, I gave you a land flowing with milk and honey. But they looked at the milk and honey, looked at the grapes, looked at the prosperity, and focused on the giants. Take your eyes off the giants. He didn't promise you the giants. He promised you milk and honey. And so the giants are there, but that's not what you focus on. And then you know what they concluded? They concluded that there was grasshoppers in their own sight. Then they came to the conclusion that there was grasshoppers in the sight of the people, of the giants. They made that conclusion. They compared their statue against the statues of the giants they saw with their own eyes. They assumed the giants who had not seen them, perhaps, thought the same thing. Or as my husband stated, maybe the giants did see them. Catch this, Elder Leon. Maybe the giants did see them, but they didn't see them as a threat. Maybe the giants saw them, but they wasn't a threat to the giants. Yeah, the giants spoke to them the possibility of what God would make out of them. Y'all got to understand this. And then you keep quiet. You have to let your voice be heard so people can hear you. They got to hear your voice. They defeated themselves before they were faced with a challenge. My husband and I was talking. They defeated themselves before they were faced with a challenge. Sometimes you are defeated by your own self and a challenge hadn't even happened yet. They saw the giants. So we were in our own sight as grasshoppers. So we were, no, sometimes you can defeat yourself before you give yourself an opportunity to win. Sometimes you defeat yourself before you give yourself an opportunity to win. My husband said, and I agree with this 100%. And y'all know I love this song. I don't even know who wrote it, but we always win. I always win. All I do is win, win, win. That's all I do is win. All I do is win. Yeah. Yeah, they do, Minister Howard. People get mad when you ask questions. Yeah, they get mad. And sometimes some people don't ask questions. People won't ask questions. You don't just take stuff at face value if you don't want to, especially if it's harmful. Ask questions and get an understanding of why things are being done like this. Now, ask questions. Ask questions. Ask questions. We met with a former member, and they told us they are so thankful of our leadership and what all we taught them and how we taught them, you take care of your home first, then you go. And that's in every single thing. That's in every single thing. And I say to members at church, you take care of your church first, then you go. You take care of your house first, then you go. Same thing you're going to do on your job. You're going to take care of your job first. And that's why some people don't like you to work, what is called a conflict of interest. You can't work at two state jobs. This is the same thing. They won't allow you to do that. That's called a conflict of interest. And you have to sign a thing, and they either say yay or nay. And I remember when I did it, they told me no. So I couldn't do one of the jobs because they felt that it would affect the other job. You understand what I'm saying? We teach principles so you can live by. That's what real talk is all about. I want you to be successful in every area of your life, every area. And when you hold back your voice, you hold back you. You are worth hearing. Not just people who got education. Miss Irvine, she don't have a PhD, a master, or a BA, right? But she spoke up for herself. She called me immediately, right? And sometimes you have to call somebody who can help enhance your voice. Ooh, that was good. Sometimes you have to call somebody who can help enhance your voice. Yeah. Yeah. What you say is using an expression of your faith. Use your words wisely to represent what you desire. Right. Be quiet. Why? No. My husband and I, we talk all the time. And this is 43 years of marriage. We talk all the time. Do we agree all the time? Well, most of the time, or either we come to a conclusion in our talking, like, yeah. And sometimes it's like, yeah, I can see that point. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's a good way of looking at it. Right? It ain't no, my viewpoint ain't dumb. His viewpoint ain't dumb. It's our viewpoint. It's our voice. And so as we're moving, there are many reasons why your voice matters. And let me tell you this: when you don't express yourself, and I go to voting as well. And I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should vote in a little bit. I've been saying it, but you should vote. You should vote. And you have a right to vote for whomever you want to vote for. You have that right. You got a lot of people telling you why. I can tell you why I'm voting for the people I'm voting for. Everybody I'm voting for, I believe in. I have seen their work. They have proven what they're doing. And so I'm voting for them. Have they done everything like I wanted 100%? No. Have they made some decision that I wouldn't make? I don't think I would have made them. But guess what? For those who are incontinent, I don't sit in that seat. And when you sit in a seat, you're going to see things differently because you have to look from things from a different perspective. When you're not sitting in that top seat, you cannot say, well, they should understand. You don't know. You don't know. Well, I said some members need to be a pastor for a year. Just for a whole, with the pastors now not saying anything to you, just let you pastor these people for a year. I asked a question one time: if all the members in the church was like you, what kind of church would that be? I mean, honestly, what kind of church would you have? I say let you pastor yourself, honestly, for a whole year. I mean, pastor yourself for a whole year. I mean, real pastor. Be a CEO for a whole year. Be an executive director. Be a city commissioner. Be a county commissioner. Be the mayor for a whole year. And see it from that vantage point. Pastor Leon, I'm telling you, it's no joke. And people change, and then they always think what they're doing is right. And it's not for the big picture. And that's even when you have businesses. They'll call you the day of, and they're supposed to be to work at 7:30. They'll call you at 7:28 and say, I'm sorry, I can't come today. Something came up. I'm sorry, I got an itchy throat. You knew you had an itchy throat when you was out there doing everything else. Why you didn't stay home and drink some lemonade or eat some honey and lemon? My blood pressure. You know your blood pressure was up Tuesday. Why you wait to Sunday at 10:59? All of a sudden you can't do it. But when you really want to do something, you do it. Girl, that's a whole nother show. You make excuses from where you need to be, but then you make a way when you want to do everything else. That ain't right. And that what Chris Rock say? That ain't right. Not using your voice is not right. Come on. You're robbing yourself. When you don't use your voice, you're robbing you. You're robbing others who need to hear your voice. You're robbing others. You're robbing others. I sat in that hospice room, and I didn't know I was built for this, but all day, and every 15 minutes, she asked me to pray. Every 15 minutes. Then she said, I just want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice. I want to hear your voice. What are you talking about tomorrow? Share it with me. I want to hear what you have to say. How do you feel about Kamala being president? That's why I'm in hospice. I want to hear your voice. And if you say something, and say something, here it is, say something with substance. Say something with substance. Yeah, say something with substance. That's it. Things look different when it's up, when you up top, when you sit on that top seat. Things look different. It's your voice. Let me give you some reasons before I conclude. There are many reasons why your voice matters, including number one. I want you to write this if you can. Those of you taking notes. The reason why your voice matters, number one, it's uniqueness. Your voice is unique to you, like a fingerprint, and can reflect your individuality, your experiences, your beliefs, and your values. Your value is the uniqueness of it. Number two, why your voice is important, or why you need to use it, impact. Impact. Your voice can have an impact on others' lives. The more you're seen and heard, the more impact you can make. For example, you can motivate others to your goals or causes. Thank you so very much, Mr. Wilson, taking notes. Howard. Yeah, goals or causes, or help others see things differently by helping to shape their perspective. Sometimes you don't let people keep going the way they're going, especially if you can see a different perspective. There's more than one perspective to all of our perspective. And sometimes we need to hear from others so we can really see what it is. And hear me, this is what I believe. Having a greater voice or more voices who understand where you are give you a greater view of what things really are. I just completed a new book cover. I sent it to 6 people for review. And they all came back with how wonderful it is, how beautiful, how awesome it is. How awesome it is. I got a brand new book cover. Yeah, uniqueness of my voice. Number 2 was the impact. Okay, number 3, healing. Talking about your experience can be healing, and your voice can encourage others to share their stories and their past. When you share your story, hear me, your story is powerful. I just gave you 2 examples of stories. I gave you my husband's story, and I gave you mine. There will be people who can really relate to my husband's story, and there can be people who really relate to my story, But both of our stories together would make such a great impact. But we can't be afraid to share your story. It encourages others. You have to use your voice. It brings healing to others. It really does. It brings healing to others. I sat in that hospital yesterday and I talked to the receptionist, I think she is, and at the hospice house, and man, she began to share me some stories. She began to tell me some things. And when I walked in and I said hello, I'm walking down the street, and walking down the hall. She said, "Hey, come back. I know your voice. I got a story." I told her she know my voice. She's just trying to get on my radio show. So she wanted me to hear her story so she could get on my show. I said, "I know what you're doing. No, you just want to be on my show." "No, I want to be on your show. I'm locked in. I'm locked in." I said, "No, you want to be. No, I'm locked in 95.3. I'm not. You want to be on my show. You want to be on my show." Okay. Another reason why your voice is important: communication. Your voice can convey your emotion, create nuisance of meaning, communicate your executive present. Your tone of your voice can also influence how others perceive you and your message. Example, a confident and assertive voice can inspire trust and credibility, while a hesitant tone may lead others to doubt your ability. It's important the way you tell your story, but you got to tell it. You got to tell it. And when a voice is not used, it prevents the opportunity for a true democracy where each voice is valued in a peaceful manner. Your voice gives your opinion a platform and give you with the opportunity to have perspective and knowledge on things that matters. I hope you're getting this. Your voice matter. And everybody who's listening to this now and who will listen later, I don't want you to get that out of your head. Your voice matter. Matter of fact, in my book, one of the chapters uh, uh, is your voice, the voice of power. It's your voice. My book is getting ready to come out to you. I'm almost finished. We're putting some finishes touches on it. Whew, you'll hear about it. I am so excited. And you know what? I got to thank Doc D for a lot of that. I do. I talk to him often, but I have to thank him for a lot of that. The push, the belief, and I tell him different things. So today in this primary election, y'all vote. I want you to vote. If you decided that your voice don't matter, if you decided that your vote don't matter, you are limiting yourself. You must be heard. And whether they agree with it or not, whether your candidate is chosen, and I don't think that we have any items to vote for right now. We will in November, okay? But this primary is important. Can I tell you something? Your local representatives, your local elected officials, they matter to your life now. They matter to your life right now. They matter to your life here in Tallahassee. They matter to your life in Fort Lauderdale. They matter in West Palm Beach, Orlando. I don't think they vote in Scotland. My sisters, I don't think they vote in Scotland and Paris and all of those places, those people who are watching. But your vote matter. Your vote matter. Come November the 5th, you need to be out there voting again. It is important. It matters. So when you go to vote, color in that circle, it represents your voice. It represents your voice. It represents your voice. Go to Toastmaster. Listen to public speakers. Listen to how other people present themselves. And use your voice. Use it wisely. But you have something to say. It is important. Matthew 12:37. Y'all see, I got my helper here. By the words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. Yeah, what you say matter. Justified by your words or condemned by your words. Life and death lies in the power of your tongue. It matters. God gave you a voice to use it. You got to use it. And as I conclude this for today, 5 reasons why it's important to vote. Number 1, elections have consequences. Every vote matters. Every vote matters. Your vote matters. Your voice matters. Your story matters. When they have commission meeting, go and voice your opinion. When they have community gathering, go and voice your opinion. Go volunteer at the schools. Go talk to the children. Go make things happen. Go get involved. Build up your family. Talk to them. Talk. It's your right. Not voting is giving up your voice. Not voting is giving up your voice. And if you don't understand it, ask people. Somebody told me while they're voting, they're going to be calling me, asking me who to vote for. I said, you can't call me while you're in that voting booth. You better get all the information you need before you get in there. Yeah, I said, you call me, they're gonna arrest you, and they call me, I'm gonna say, I don't know how. I speak no English. I know who you call. You would not know. Didn't she call and ask you who? No, I know not her. All right. It's your money. Voting is your money. Young people, you need to vote. Old people, you need to vote. But young people, let me tell you something. A lot of work went into you voting. A lot of work went into you voting. A lot of work went into us having this opportunity to let our voice be heard. A lot of people died for this opportunity for us. And it ain't right for you not to use your voice. It's not right for you not to vote. It's not right. It's not right. It's not right for you. It's not right for us. Voting is your money. Y'all who working, you better vote, because come November 5th, if we don't get the right person in there, Social Security ain't going to be Social Security like you know it today. And voting is an opportunity for change. When you use your voice, even in the voting booth and out here, it's an opportunity for change. If you want to see something change, talk about it. Talk about it. Learn the facts and talk about it. Number 5, the community depends on you. The community depends on you. And as I bring this to a close, I want y'all to understand that your voice matters. You have something to say. My husband saying ain't gonna be Social Security, gonna be social insecurity. He said gonna be social insecurity. It sure is. Gonna be social insecurity. You know? Make your voice count, please. Everybody don't agree with what I say. I know some people do. I know I'm making a difference in people's lives. I know that for a fact. Even the ones who don't want to hear me talk, they can't say I don't give them something to think about. I can tell the way they type. I can tell the way they respond on Facebook, just on their own page. Okay? And when I run into people on the street, thank you. Your voice gave clarity. Wow, what you said meant something. Wow, thank you for writing. It means something. Facebook ain't all bad. It's an opportunity. You want to start something? Start on. Some people got a platform they would never have gotten in real life. I promise you. But what did God do? I believe Facebook was a knowledge and wisdom from a man that came from God. And now you have more people who even making comments that ain't even qualified. I don't think the church people should say this. Who listening to your voice? Who listening to you? I don't think they ought to do that. Who listening to you? I don't think they should be there. Who listening to you? Who what pot you got? That's all I'm gonna say about that. What pot you have? What size is your pot? Huh? Come on. As I close this, I really want you to No, Minister Howard, I really want you to know that you have a golden opportunity. You have something to say. You really do. Some of you want to write books, but you won't. Some of the books I've read and bought to help people, I'm like, why in the world did I buy that book? 20-page book, 10 pages are note pages. It got note and a whole bunch of lines, and then it got 10 pages worth of writing. Was it worth the reading? Yes. Did I take notes? Yes. Why? Because in the 10 pages that they wrote enough to draw us in. Did y'all understand that? All right, I got to go. My time is up. I just want you all to know this is very very important. This is all important. So let your voice be heard. Okay? Tell your story. Get in on conversation. My husband and people who hang out with me, they can tell you. If people talking real loud, I'm gonna get in on that conversation. Because that mean they want me in it. Yeah, they talking real loud. They want me in the conversation, and I'm gonna get in on it. Because I always got something to say, even if I Google it before I get into the conversation. But I talk enough and I ask enough questions to be well versed in a lot of areas. And I want to say this as I close. In the areas that you're not well versed in, study the areas. Just study them, learn them, be well learned. I am doing something now to keep improving me. Every day I want to learn better. Every day I want to do better. And I do wear a hat sometimes to remind me to die empty. I want to use everything that's in me before I leave here. I really do. And my responsibility is to you. My responsibility is to the people who listen to me, to the people who's part of my life, to the people who will read my book, to the people who will hear me speak on different platforms. That's my responsibility, is to make sure that I know my purpose and I know my why. I put that on Facebook today. I know it. God called me to empower people, to inspire people, to make people, to help people see their worth and value. And then when they fall, to help them get up. I have people with me, so when I fall, they help me up. I haven't arrived, I'm arriving. But I've accomplished more than a whole lot of people have. And my responsibility now is to help you get where you are. All of my sisters, every last one of them. My sister Tanya tell you I was an advocate. Every last one of my sisters can depend on Judy Mandrell to be there. Every last one of them. Those who are close to me can depend on me being there. Those who are not close to me, when I say close, you're not like really close. But if you need Judy Mandrell and you inbox me and you call me, and I promise you, there are hundreds of people who have messaged me. I didn't even know them, who called and asked for me to come. Did I go? Yes, sir, buddy. Why? Because they needed me. And I know that's my purpose here on the earth. I know that. Okay. People who call for me on Sunday mornings, and I know they don't go to church and all that kind of stuff. You're not gonna really get me on Sunday morning. I'm going to Life Changers first to refuel and to get this in order, and then I serve. Especially if you don't go to church. You staying home, and I go to church. And that's sometimes people call you right on Tuesday night Bible study, knowing goodness well that I'm in Bible study at 7:30. I text them back and say, I'll talk to you at 10 o'clock. Are you awake? No. I need you to speak. You can speak, but my speaking voice to you will not happen until after this is over. I've been sitting here right now, and we're just about finished here. I've been sitting here right now, and I promise you, I done got 10 texts, but they know I'm on the radio. Why would you text me and you know I'm on the radio? Why would you do that? Because And that's a good point I want to give to you. It's called distraction. Okay? When they know you're there and then they want to call you at the time that you're on the radio, what's that? That ain't right. You know? That's not right. But I want you to take courage in yourself. And believe in you. And sometimes you need a spotter. Yeah. I haven't needed a spotter yet because I only do the treadmill. But I watch those people as they're getting their weights, as they're taking their possibility to another level. They have people who stand behind them, people who stand before them. Carolyn, that might be what it means. They don't listen to my show. That's why I'm not going to talk to them either. I ain't going to talk to them the whole day. Yeah, you just stirred that up. Nah. But y'all, make it happen. Okay? Your voice is important. You are important. And how you see yourself is how other people are going to see you. How you see, I'm getting a call right now. How you see yourself, that's how other people see you. Or that's how you perceive others see you. Carolyn, thank you for coming on here. Thank you, because I'm about to use you right now. I am about to use you. Thank you, Carolyn, for putting that in my mind. Yeah, thank you. Carolyn said, "Oh, I don't see that. I don't see that. That's not me. That's not me. I can't do this." Right? We done had arguments about her possibility, her greatness. We done had, but you know who gave her the name greatness? Commissioner Bill Proctor. Over 35 years ago, we had a citywide youth conference, and we were in Walker Ford Gym, and I was doing the Jesus Make It Jump thing. Yeah, Carolyn, really. Jesus Make It Jump. Y'all remember Chris Cross when they were saying what they said, something make it jump. So I said Jesus Make It Jump, and Bill Proctor, Commissioner Bill Proctor, walked in, and Carolyn was doing something. She was doing a great job. He called her greatness. He said, "I see greatness in you." That's what he said. And you know what? She has far exceeded what she saw in her own self. I want to thank y'all so very much. And Carol, I had to use you because you're living proof right there. You're living proof right there. She went on, and she has become a mighty, phenomenal woman of God, a wife, a sister, a friend. No, my sister Tanya been riding me about a master's degree, doctor's degree. I mean, riding me. And Sister Cindy riding me about this book. And I never forget, it was Robin who prayed and asked God to save her sister. She said she saw me going to hell. I'm like, oh my Lord. Should have told me. I would have stopped. So in conclusion, y'all, this is Real Talk with Judy, live radio show. You have something to say. I want you to use your voice. I want you to become who you are, and I want you to use it. All right? Share this. And no matter what you do, vote. Please. It's your voice. And that's Real Talk. Oh.
Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on